What's up, people? One thing I wanted to talk about this morning is the importance of reviews for companies. I've learned as being a business owner now, and before this I was an electrician for 13 years, so I've always been kind of in the service industry. I've always dealt with customers and whatnot. Reviews and feedback are huge. So I tell my customers, even if it's negative feedback, I want to hear it. If you're not happy with ship time, if you're not happy with packing, if you're not happy with any of this stuff, I want to know about it because we can't improve here without having that feedback. So I value negative feedback as much as I value, if not more than positive feedback, because I want to know how to make things better for my customers. So that being said, it's kind of common now with Google. People use Google and Yelp as a platform to basically tear down businesses and whatnot. So if people can kind of get on board with basically anytime you have an experience that's not negative, if you have a good experience as a company, take 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute, and leave a good review because it goes a really long ways. Buddy of mine works for a pool company here. They do crazy in-ground pools, and I've known him for 20 years. I started there when I was like 17, 16, building swimming pools. I realized that I hadn't left him a review, and I've known the guy for 15 years. I've worked for him. They've hired me as an electrician. So the other day I left a good review for him. So here's what reviews do. Reviews make the company rank higher in Google rankings. So first off, Yelp is a joke. Yelp basically, once you have your business listing with Yelp, you cannot take it down. You don't own it. You don't have any control over it at all. And basically what they do is Yelp tries to sell you their advertising services. And if you don't pay for it, they put your negative reviews at the top, which you can't control anything. And then they put your positives in a little down below where you have to click a link to see the positive one. So they basically, most people don't know this about Yelp, but they basically not really, it's not illegal technically, but they just choose to not show your positive reviews. And then what they do too is for their marketing, what they do is say, hey, if you want to advertise with us, what we'll do is we'll put your ad right below your competitor's listing. So if they're totally shady, they're a scammy company. So Yelp, just don't use them because they're not good people. So actually Carter told me, if you look up Yelp's review of Yelp, they have like a 1-star and it's like 5,000 horrible reviews of Yelp on Yelp, which is funny. So, but anyways, the Google listings for us local, it doesn't really do anything for us online, but the local business here, we probably see, I don't know, 1,000 customers come in here a year. I have no idea, but there's a lot of customers that come in here, probably more. And maybe 5% of them leave reviews, 10%. We're trying to basically get better about that. I would say probably 90% of our customers have a good experience here, if not more. So they should be leaving reviews. It's just people don't stop to take the time. They don't think about it. You get busy. I do the same thing too. So if you're going to a restaurant and you have good food, leave them a good review. If you buy something online, leave them a good review. If you're happy, leave them a good review. It doesn't matter if it's the hardware store right down the road here, leave them a good review. I mean, if you're friends, if you've got a buddy that's a contractor or anything, it's about helping other businesses and helping small businesses. If they've earned it and they do a good job and you're happy with them, then leave them a good review. It doesn't take very long. It takes but a minute. So what do we got here? I'll grab that later. We're not technically open. But anyways, I just want to stress people use Google more or less to slander businesses and to put them down. We had a guy come in here that had some sort of imbalance, and he threw a fit and he was flipping Carter off and just screaming to the top. We didn't even do any business for him. He just went crazy and left me tons and tons of these crazy long reviews. And I looked him up, and basically all he did was leave bad reviews for companies. He had no good reviews. He left a bad review for a church. I don't know how you can leave a bad review for a church. That makes no sense. So there are people out there that all they do is they harbor negativity, and all they do is leave bad reviews for people. That's just what they like to do. They use Google to basically, leave bad reviews for companies. So if people can take a minute, support your local stores, support your tire shops. Firestone shop here does really good work. Good buddy, he's a Does a bunch of sprees. We helped them build a spree here. Great guy, does me solid on the tires there. I left him a review. Like, it just takes a few minutes. Your friends, your family, anybody who has a business, take the time, leave them a review. Walmart, big stores, they don't really care if you leave them a review because they're going to sell stuff anyways because they're just like a bulk power seller. So companies like me and smaller businesses, as far as your Google rankings go, reviews are everything. So I just encourage, if you have a good company that you work with and they've done a good job, doesn't matter if it's the local little mini mart, the tire store, it doesn't matter, all that stuff is going to help. So the way I see it is the hardware store that's literally 2 buildings down, they've been there, I grew up in this area and they've been here for 30 years. I mean, they've been here forever. Little tiny hardware store with wood floors, like plywood floors, and they've added on and added on and added on, and it's this weird maze of stuff that you would never think that they would have, but they have it there. Some of it's covered in dust, but they have it there. Leaving good reviews for companies like that are going to drive more people there, and it's a mom and pop owned store that I've been going to for years. My uncle's been going to it for years. We buy our stuff there. So the way I see it is, that could be my uncle or my grandfather's store, or my brother's or mother's store or whatever. So if you leave them good reviews, you drive more people to that store because they've earned it and they've worked hard and they've provided good service. They deserve a review. So take a minute today or sometime and think about the stores you've shopped with, that you've had good experiences with, your local stores. I don't know what's playing on the radio. It's really strange. It sounds like a baby crying, so I don't know what it is, but Pandora or YouTube or something. But take a minute, leave a review, and it goes a long ways, and the companies appreciate it as well. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there, the importance of leaving reviews, good feedback. If you have a bad experience with the company, call them, email them, stop in, say, hey, this wasn't cool, this didn't work right. I've had bad experience with companies too, and I typically, before I won't leave a bad review for a company. The only time I'll leave a bad review is if I have a horrible experience, I bring it up to them, and they do nothing about it. I've had, years ago, I took my BMW into a tire shop here, Discount Tire, and I had these wheel studs so you can change track tires, track wheels and street wheels off. You could take them off and change them out without having to pull. You just take them off, and it's different lengths for different spacers and whatnot. It's like a $300 stud kit in there with special lugs, and they used a shallow socket, and they rounded off all the bolts, and they put the wheel back on. They rounded them all off, and then they chipped my wheel really, really bad. And these were $1,500 wheels or something, not anything crazy, but they weren't cheap. And I went back and said, hey guys, these studs are all rounded off, and the wheels chipped up. What are we gonna do about this? And they said, you know what, we're really sorry, we messed up. We're gonna order you a new wheel, because if you get it powder coated, it won't match the rest, and we're gonna order this whole new stud kit, and we're gonna put it on for you. So I had to bring it back down. I had to have the work done. I had to leave it there, or maybe I took the wheel, and I don't remember. But either way, it cost me 2-3 hours of extra whatever to get this figured out. They did it, and they gave me like $100 credit because of all the trouble, and I still go there. I didn't leave them a bad review because you know what? Companies make mistakes. We're all human. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. The important thing is that the company fixes it and acknowledges that it was a mistake and learns from it. If you just leave them a crappy review and you don't give them a chance to make it right, you're not doing them any good. I want to see companies succeed, and I want to see companies grow that are like me and other companies. So if you have a good experience, message them about it, call them about it, whatever, but don't automatically, if you have a bad one, don't go straight to Google and leave this horrific review, because that's not doing anybody any good. Go with them, go to them, and if they don't make it right and they don't make you happy as a customer, then feel free to leave a bad review. But most companies, if you call them, if you call me up, what happened? Okay, perfect example. Melosi sent a crank to me that was for an AF18, not an AF16 Dio. Customer opens it up. Great customer of mine. I think he's in Massachusetts. Anyways, Melosi sent the wrong crank. The box, the labeling, the packaging, and everything was for AF16. Opens it up. He goes, hey, this spline's too small. I said, well, that's trippy. I'm crazy. I've had, I don't know how many hundreds of those cranks I've sold. Never had this happen before. So what I did was, before getting that crank back, I popped a new one in the mail, paid for shipping there, paid for shipping back. So I lost all the margins, of course, because there's not much margin. There's not many margins this stuff. By the time you pay flat rate there, flat rate back. I shipped him one the same day to get it there fast, and then he shipped that one back to me. But that's something that was out of my control. We can't open all these boxes here, and it happens. Melosi made a mistake. I'm not going to go to Melosi. I'm not going to leave Melosi a bad review because it just cost me $30 and a couple hours of time, and because it cost me time and money. I'm just going to keep rolling with it because I know they make mistakes, because at 99.9% of the time they do an amazing job, and they just had this one slip up on that one product. Same thing, Yasuni didn't put in a header flange for a C21 for Dan, and it's coming. I'm not going to leave Yasuni a bad review. I'm not going to post anything negative about them because it happens. They hire people that put things in boxes, and not everybody, people make mistakes. I had an employee here that just had a child, and I remember when I had a kid, I was living in fog for about a year. Not sleeping. It's just little tiny. If you have kids, you remember, you sleep these little tiny fragments of sleep for all the night, but it's like these little 20-minute sections of sleep, and you wake up and you're just a haze, right? So he came in, he packed a bunch of packages, and I would say 40% of them were wrong parts, wrong quantities, whatever. It took myself and Carter probably a week to get that all repaired and fixed. It cost time, it cost money, but at the end of the day, I don't hold anything against him at all because he's human. And I remember being in that state myself, when I had a kid, my first child, and you're just living in a haze. You're a zombie for forever, pretty much. But anyways, just a perfect example of how something can happen and a mistake can happen, but as long as the company makes it right, leave them a good review, keep shopping there. Mistakes are going to happen. Everybody makes mistakes at work. Everybody does things wrong. So if I get an omelet at the breakfast place that's good, I'm going to leave a great review. If I get it and it's got a crusty old toenail in it or something, or a piece of hair or whatever, I'm going to ask for a refund, and then I will never come back. I don't know if I will leave a review. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's tough because when it comes to things in your food that come off of your body, land in the food, that is probably enough to warrant a review, or a bad review. But anyways, tell people about your experiences on Google. Don't spend a minute on Yelp. Yelp is a joke. They're just scam artists. There's actually a few websites out there right now, like Ripoff Report is one, where they basically let anybody write whatever they want, and it's the guy's being sued and whatever. So there's some shady fake review companies out there. Stick to Google. Google rocks for the most part. Yeah, just give some feedback to your local community and to your shops and stores that you deal with. If they're good, they do a good job, leave them a good review. So it goes a long ways for us, it goes a long ways for everybody here. So all right, well, it's 9:15, gonna open up here pretty soon. See what else. Tomorrow we're gonna be giving away some free Grom parts on our live video, so that'll go on between 10 and noon, somewhere in there. It's kind of hard to really narrow it down with all we got going on. Subscribe and share and like, and you need to click the bell. You got to get the notifications in order to see the live videos. So we always have stuff going on the live video. So tomorrow we have one. We're doing free parts, so you got to subscribe, share, and click the notification button. Yeah, thanks for watching, and just something I was thinking about reviews, because I leave them for all the local companies and whatnot that I deal with. So, and I also, in videos, I also mention the other people in the industry that have been really good to me. So it only makes sense to spend a minute to help return the service. So, all right, well, work on this thing today. Weld up a shock mount. Gonna get the height and everything dialed in. Put a side stand on it, and then we're gonna start doing radiators and dial this thing in. So this thing should just be pure evil. So, all right, guys, have a good day. If you're riding, ride safe. If it's snowing, I feel sorry for you. If you can't ride, it's too cold. Well, that's me. It's pretty cold outside right now. But anyways, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, and enjoy.